But what's crazy is that jobs really have people out here thinking that having only 2 days a week to yourself is normal. When I learned that I could take skills that I already had from my 9-to-5 job and sell them in the form of a digital product on TikTok, my life completely changed. Just warning, your boss doesn't want you to see this video. I went from making $18 an hour working a crappy retail job to now being a 6-figure online business owner because of digital products. And when I say skills, I don't mean like you know how to build websites or you cured cancer. I'm not talking about those skills. I'm talking about skills like teaching people how to grow their hair, teaching people how to heal from a breakup, teaching people how to travel smart on a budget. These are skills that people are selling on TikTok, making 6 figures, selling them in the form of digital products.
If that 9-to-5 is holding you back from reaching your full potential, quit that job. See me, I used to be so scared to leave, like, girl, how you gonna get money? Where you gonna get money from? But when you really believe in yourself and you know what you want to do, you know what you want to be, you will make it happen. I quit my job and I never looked back. Like, now I am the job. I'm the job. I'm me. I work for me. I answer to me. Like, I make my own schedule. I do what I want. I travel when I want in peace. I'm happy. These jobs will have you in pieces. Choose you.
I quit my engineering job 4 months ago. I was very depressed and unfulfilled working in the defense industry every day. Even though it was remote and I had so many privileges and freedom, it wasn't as free as I thought it would be, and I was just yearning to be a full-time business owner. When I quit my job, I had people that were very, very subtly judging me. They laughed because my business would be social media based. They basically assumed I was going to be some influencer on TikTok, and I could tell there was a lot of lack of belief. They made it seem like I was taking a risk to follow some small hobby and that this comfy job would always be there when I need it. I think they all assumed that I would just be back one day. I know it's only been 4 months, but my life has completely changed. In just these 4 months, I've made over $150,000 in sales in my business, which is way more than my annual salary in just a third of the amount of time. We put a lot of our savings into this first real estate investment before my business took off, and now I have enough money to buy another house and to continue building a real estate empire. I'm going to Costa Rica for 2.5 weeks with my husband, and I have no worries. I actually am going to miss my business because I'm so fulfilled and passionate about it. I live and breathe what I do. I wake up every day with excitement and energy, and I love my clients. So when they told me this job would always be there if I ever came back, I laugh now and I say no thank you.
You only have to say nothing, I already know.
Oh, because why was this me literally a few months ago? I was literally putting myself through hell working a corporate 9-to-5 job while also freelancing on the side as a social media manager. And even though I was making great money with my freelancing clients, still terrified to quit my job, the stability, taking risks. I got bills to pay, okay? But let me tell you something, if you do not take risk in life, you will never grow. Because now your girl is making twice her salary while working significantly less hours. So take it from me and start that business now because you never know where it will take you.
So I quit my 9-to-5. I've been working a 9-to-5 literally since I could legally work. So since I was 16, I've been working for somebody else on somebody else's time, on somebody else's dollar, literally just working paycheck to paycheck just to survive. Doing a job that I don't really love. Luckily for me, I found UGC 5 months ago, and it has completely changed my life. Let me tell you, I'm now running my own business. I'm my own boss. I don't work for anybody but myself. Is that not wild? I make money doing something that I'm truly so passionate about. Like, I could do this shit all day, every day. I've made so many connections along the way. Like, every UGC creator I come across, I'm like, you're my coworker. Little do you know, we work together. No, but seriously, if you told me 5 months ago that I would be quitting a 9-to-5 job, working for myself, running my own business, making money online, I would have thought you were crazy. But here I am.
Hey everyone, it's Bree. Welcome back to my channel, back in another video. And I am here to talk about this recent trend that's been happening over the past year or so, where you see a lot of people leaving their 9-to-5s for entrepreneurship. And I want to talk about why that is happening. And as someone who's also doing the same thing, I thought it would be a really interesting topic to discuss on the channel. So it's been said time and time again, right, that these jobs are not paying people enough. I don't care what field you work in. I don't care if you work in tech, if you work in the food industry, if you work in beauty, it does not matter. People across the board are not being paid their worth. A lot of these companies are laying people off, cutting their staff, cutting their salaries. People are out here struggling. These companies are out here struggling. It's just been a struggle. And a lot of people are having to work more than 40 hours a week to get by. And after a while of doing that, you really start to sit back and reevaluate your life and reevaluate, where you are. And you start to question, is it even worth it? And I feel like a lot of people, people have different reasons for picking their job. Some people, it's just solely a financial thing. For others, it may be a passion thing, like they wanted to get into an industry that they were passionate about, but the money just isn't hitting like it should. And with the economy being so horrible right now, a lot of people can't afford to wait on another job opportunity or continuing to beg their current job to raise their salary, and they keep being told no. And so a lot of people are starting to look for other options, right? And so you've seen a lot of people wanting to jump into entrepreneurship. And yes, a lot of small business owners, they don't always make it. I think it's over 70% of new businesses fail within the first year. But a lot of people are really starting to consider taking that risk for a potentially greater reward. Because at the end of the day, it just feels like the quote unquote American dream of getting a good paying job and working your way up. It just seems like more and more as the days go on that that's just not going to happen for a lot of people. And whether it's people going into entrepreneurship full time or part time, people are exploring options of, having at least an extra set of income coming in, which I said this time and time again. It's sad that people even have to do this. It's sad that people even have to think about adding something else to their plate in order to make ends meet, having to work several jobs and working so much that they can't even have the time to enjoy the money that they're making. And with these companies, right, it's like no one wants to train anybody anymore. They don't want to hire on a team of people for their departments. A lot of departments are getting cut down heavily. You literally have a lot of departments out there that are made up of 1 or 2 people expected to do the same amount of work as a 10-person department. Like, it's actually insane. I actually talked about it in a video that I just filmed. I don't know if it's going up before this one or after this one, but I literally just talked about how in marketing, this is very, very prevalent. In marketing specifically, you're having a lot of people hire on one person to be their entire marketing department. So where you have certain tasks that should be given to different people who specialize, right, in different areas of marketing, they're instead looking for somebody that can quote unquote do it all. Someone that can do email marketing and content marketing and copywriting and content creation and social media strategy and data analysis. They want somebody, instead of hiring one person that specializes in that specific thing, they want someone that knows how to do it all. And so a lot of people are hiring one person to be their entire marketing department, and it's causing marketing people to be extremely overworked and underpaid and undervalued. You have people that are throwing their social media strategies at their interns and at their office assistants because they feel like it doesn't take, all that much work to do. And people are just getting tired. They're getting fed up, and they're like, I should take my skills elsewhere and take them somewhere that is going to be valued. So you now see people making their own way in order to fight for their worth in this industry. So you see people now starting their own businesses, they're freelancing their own skills, or they're jumping into content creation. And there's 2 different ways, right, that people go about this. Either they come to the realization of like, look, this job is not working for me. I'm going to try to pursue my own thing. I'm going to use the money that I am making from my 9-to-5 to invest into my other side projects and my business, right? So you have the people that are still working a 9-to-5, but then they're also running their own business or doing content creation at the same time in hopes that the side business or the content creation will overtake what they're doing at their 9-to-5 to where the 9-to-5 is no longer necessary or needed. But then you have the other people that go full force, taking a leap of faith. They quit their job, they quit everything, and they just go full into entrepreneurship. And both of those scenarios are extremely difficult for various reasons, right? A lot of people feel like the safe route, which is the route that I've been told to do from other people, is hey, still work these jobs, but then also do your content creation and everything else. And although, yes, that is seen as the more safe route, people don't understand the amount of energy and time that it takes to invest in yourself and to invest in your own businesses and content creation. And so when you're already working 40 hours a week, that allows for all those other hours to work on other things. And what people don't take into account, right, is that means that you're either going to be waking up much earlier in the day to start your day off early, staying up extremely late, working late hours, or both in order to get your stuff off the ground. And that takes a lot of time, a lot of energy, and that's only if you have a true work-life balance to where, you know, when you clock out at 5 o'clock, you are off the clock. Whereas for a lot of us, and for me in particular, when you're working jobs that are overworking you and working you past your 9 to 5 to where you're working until 10 o'clock, I've worked until midnight several times for my internships. At that point, once I clock off at midnight, I'm not working on nothing else but sleep. And it gets to a point where you're so exhausted from your 9 to 5 and working all these hours that the little bit of energy that you have left, you may not have it in you to work on business stuff. Because like for me, again, if I'm working from 9 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night, I'm not editing no videos, I'm not recording nothing. I'm going to decompress. I'm going to watch my YouTube, I'm going to play Sims. I'm going to use a little bit of energy that I have and call it lazy, call it whatever you would like. But again, I think that you have to allow yourself to have breaks, or else you're going to drive yourself insane and your mental is going to take a toll on you. And so if I have like an hour before I go to bed, yeah, sure, some people might be like, we need to push through and use that hour to work on your own stuff. But sometimes you literally just don't have it in you. And honestly, most of the times where I was working until 10, 11 o'clock at night, I would just go to bed. I would just go to bed because I was so exhausted all the time. And that's why for a long time I wasn't consistent on YouTube. You saw that there were weeks where I wasn't posting on YouTube. I was going months without posting on social media. I wasn't as consistent as I could be because I was overworked at my job. And so although people think it's easy to just use your free time that you're not actually working to work on other stuff, it really just depends on your circumstances. And if you're working a job that is severely overworking you to where you're depleted and you're exhausted, what energy do you have to work on anything else, right? And so if you're blessed enough to have an actual work-life balance, then yes, absolutely you should use that extra time and that extra energy that you have to work on your own stuff. But it sometimes doing it that way can delay the progress that you could be making with your own stuff. So I also don't knock the people that are like, look, I'm gonna just quit, I'm gonna take a chance, I'm gonna take an opportunity and do my own thing. Yes, obviously it's risky. Yes, everybody shouldn't be an entrepreneur. It's not gonna work out for everybody, but I can't blame people for trying. And I've seen countless stories of people that have made a name for themselves, whether it's in content creation or just the entertainment industry in general. I've heard time and time again of people who literally just quit their jobs, went out on faith, did their own thing, and now they are extremely successful and financially well off because they took a chance on themselves. And so I think either way you go, whether you go the extremely risky route or the safe route, I don't knock anybody at this point because again, these jobs and these companies are not treating their employees correctly. They're not paying their employees correctly. And I am always here for people making a way for themselves. And I want to speak to my own experience with this as someone that recently took the extremely risky route. Yeah, I quit my job last month in June, and even that whole process of trying to leave that job was so messy that it confirmed me leaving. But in me being just so exhausted from job hunting and begging for people to give me a chance, begging for people to see my worth in this industry, I just got really tired and checked out. And knowing that all in all my life goal is not to work for somebody else, it just became more and more apparent that maybe trying to climb the corporate ladder and get get into marketing, maybe that isn't the path for me. And that is extremely frustrating considering I went to go get an entire college degree for this field. But I couldn't have predicted anything that's happened up until this point, like at all, especially with how undervalued the industry is right now. And I'm like, you know what? I'm over here being overworked and underpaid at all these jobs, being mistreated at these jobs, all for 12 an hour, 17 an hour. And then I'm being questioned in regards to that. Like, I'm already being paid low, and then I'm being told, well, did you actually work this amount of hours? Like, are you sure that you need to be paid X, Y, and Z? It's like, I'm already being paid low, and then you're questioning why I'm getting paid this amount. It was entirely too much. And so I currently, as it stands, I am pursuing YouTube and content creation full time. I'm pursuing my clothing brand full time. Which, speaking of, I'm wearing something from my clothing line right now. So if you guys like this sweatshirt, feel free to check it out. I have my store linked on my merch shelf on my YouTube channel. I also always link it in the top comment of each video. So feel free to check out my clothing line 1111. And I also just started a marketing agency with my friend where we're going to be freelancing our marketing skills. So I'm literally doing all the things, and I'm going full in with this because this is ideally what I would like to do. Like, if I had to choose between working for someone else at 40 hours a week, being underpaid, undervalued, versus working for myself and getting paid, you know, what I feel that I am worth, doing what I love, and honestly having to work more than 40 hours. Because listen, entrepreneurship is not easy. People think it's just, oh, you know, it doesn't take that much time. Same thing with content creation. People think you just pick up a camera, film yourself, and you go on about your day. No. This takes a lot of time, energy, and effort, and working for yourself often requires more hours than if you were to work for someone else. When you work for somebody else, you clock in, you clock out, and that's it. When you work for yourself, you're always working, and you feel like you're never off the clock because there's always something you could be doing. There's always deals to be made. You know, I'm now talking to brands more and more now, and so there's a lot that goes into it. But I would rather exhaust myself doing something that I enjoy and taking that control into my own hands than exhausting myself being miserable for someone else at someone else's company. And so that's where I'm at right now, and I understand it's a huge risk. I've had a lot of friends express their concerns about me going this route. A lot of them, you know, they would prefer I do the safe route of, oh, we'll still try to apply and find another job and then do content creation. But here's the thing, as I spoke about earlier, it's really a gamble of whether or not you really have the time and the energy to put forth into it. And yes, there's a lot of people that balance their 9-to-5s with content creation and balance their 9-to-5s with their businesses, right? There's a lot of people out there that do it. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but just speaking from my own personal experience, I'm not able to give as much as I feel like I could when I am working a 9-to-5, well, a 9-to-5, quote unquote, and I'm working all these hours at these companies. Again, when I was doing both, as you could see, I was falling off heavily from everything that I was doing, and I was dropping the ball on a lot of stuff. But then I thought about it, and I'm like, well, when I was unemployed and when I was looking for a job and I didn't have anything at the moment, I went all in on YouTube and it started to blow up. So I'm like, imagine if I were to do that again, you know? And so I understand that it is a risk and there's no guarantee that things are going to work out. And there is a chance that if things don't work out, I'll have to just hop back into the job market. But I feel really strongly in betting on myself and going full speed with this, especially even when it comes to my business. There's things that I've learned from working with other people that I can take into my own business. I feel like I have way more knowledge and resources now than I ever did before. And I feel like now that I kind of know what to do now, I just need the time and the energy to put it into practice. And so that's what I'm doing now. And I can't say that everybody agrees with my decision to do that. I can't say that everybody supports my decision to do that. A lot of people would just rather see me work a 9-to-5 and just be done with it. But, you know, I've also come to realize too that if I want more for myself, the only person that's going to believe in me the most is myself. And so I have to, at the very least, take a chance on myself. If these other companies aren't going to, if they're not going to value me, I have to value myself. And so this is the route that I'm taking. And in terms of what, you know, that looks like for me, because prior to me quitting my job, right, when I was trying to balance it all, I would have to stay up late to work on stuff for my business, to edit videos. I would have to try and film videos in between meetings a lot. That's why I told you guys that I couldn't really film long videos that were like an hour long, because I literally didn't have time to talk for an hour and I didn't have time to edit an hour long video. I just literally did not have the time. And so I had to squeeze in videos in between meetings. Luckily, I work remotely, so that's how I was able to get around this. If I was working at an actual office, y'all probably would have got a video maybe once a month, if that. I'm gonna be honest with you. Like, it was really, really difficult. But now I'm able to plan out my day to where I'm able to work on everything, my content creation, my business. I'm able to pitch to people. I'm able to do things for myself in my full capacity at this time. And because I also have a lot riding on me actually making this work, because I have a lot to prove to both myself and to other people, and it's really driving me to have all this work out no matter what. And that drive and that motivation to create better circumstances for myself, I feel like is going to get me far. And like I said earlier, like, there was a very long time where I literally wasn't consistent with anything that I was doing because of how overworked I was. And I'm like, at this point, I'm overworking myself, stressing myself out. I don't even have time for hobbies. I don't have time to take care of myself. My mental health is literally in shambles, all for a clean 17 an hour. A clean 17 an hour, where if I were to set up my YouTube channel in the right way, set up my business in the right way, this could really be lucrative for me. This could really be something that gets me to the next level. And even if it doesn't, even if I get to a place where my YouTube channel doesn't make enough money for me to take care of myself, even if my clothing brand doesn't make enough money to where I can take care of myself, I can at the very least say that I have two sources of income that's significantly contributing to my overall wealth, and I'm able to use that to save up and to do other things. And so, you know, even if I do this for a couple of months and I'm not where I want to be with it, I'll still feel really good about the fact that I tried and that I put that energy into myself and into something that I feel like is worth it. And so I actually want to take this time to just thank everybody that has been really supportive of me, everyone that's been supporting the channel. And I'll also take this time as well to say that if you want to support me in other ways, I also have channel memberships and Patreon where I'm offering exclusive content over there. I will be transparent in saying that there isn't a ton of exclusive content over there, but I'm going to be changing that very, very soon. But there are some exclusive videos over there. I literally just filmed a video about the whole Trump thing that happened at his rally. You know what I'm talking about. I made a video about that and I'll put it on my channel memberships and Patreon. So if you're curious what my thoughts are about that whole situation, feel free to subscribe and get that content as well. Again, I have my clothing brand. I'll always tag it in the top of my comment section. So if you want to check that out, you know, sign up for the newsletter, check out the website, follow us on socials. I'd love that support as well. And also my marketing company that I started with my friend will also be linked in the top comment on my videos. If you know of someone that needs marketing services, or if you're someone that needs marketing services, feel free to check that out as well. You know, just in any ways that you guys can support, I really, really appreciate it. But honestly, just you guys showing up, liking the videos, watching the videos, that has meant the world to me. I honestly still to this day feel like my YouTube channel is like the only thing that I've done in my life that has been successful, because in so many other areas of my life I just feel like I've been failing and fumbling, and I feel like this channel is the only thing that I'm doing right. And although it's still not necessarily where I would like it to be, it's the one thing that I feel like I'm putting a lot of effort and energy into, and I'm seeing something from it. And I think that's why I've been so motivated to keep going with this and to make this a full-time thing, because I actually feel fulfilled from this. I love to talk, I love to share my opinion, and to be able to make a living from that would mean the world to me. And I've shared that with other people, and people kind of just get silent, or they kind of just look at me like, that sounds nice, whenever I say it. And so that again makes me even more so want to make this happen, because, you know, I feel like life is too short to keep being miserable and not pursuing your goals and your passions. And I understand it's not going to happen overnight. I understand that for, you know, different people, they have different timelines of when things happen for them, and not everyone is even in a position to pursue their dreams. I also acknowledge that as well. Not everybody can just quit their 9 to 5 and do their own thing. Some people are forced into being at a job that they don't like to make ends meet or to take care of loved ones. So I understand that. So I want to make sure that I acknowledge that as well. Some people literally do not have a choice. But for the ones that do, and for the ones that decide to go that route, I'm in full support of that. I'm in full support of anyone that pursues content creation, entrepreneurship. I try to show as much support as I can, especially especially if, you know, I see people that I know and that I went to school with, if they're doing content creation, I try to support in any way that I can, whether it's literally just liking and engaging with the content, and that always helps as well. But yeah, you know, I do not blame people for doing their own thing. You know, I think people are finally starting to get to a place where they're tired and they're tired of being tired. People are looking for other ways than just what's been force fed to us, which is go to school, get your degree, get a good job, and then just be done. I think people are starting to look at other ways of pursuing their dreams, of making money, making a living for themselves without having to sacrifice their mental health and their well-being. And for a lot of us, doing entrepreneurship and doing content creation full time is worth it. And if you find yourself working in an industry that doesn't value you, it's like, well, why not go where I am valued? Why not create that value for myself? I think that's a question that a lot of people are being faced with, and that's why you see so many people going that route. So yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you're somebody that quit your 9 to 5 to pursue your own personal endeavors, or if you're somebody that's, you know, just thought about it. Let me know your thoughts about this topic in the comments down below. If you guys enjoyed this video, make sure you guys go ahead, give it a big thumbs up. And if there's any other topics you guys want me to cover on this channel, let me know in the comments as well. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and I will see you guys in the next video.